and I can't wait to see what that looks like.
You know, so you've seen Moses.
Oh yeah.
What do
Everybody know Moses.
Are you? So you're talking about the prophet?
No, I'm talking about your brother-in-law.
Okay.
Oh,
you've already got me all
good
twisted
start.
up. This is what I'm saying. You've got this interview skills that just, you've already got me discarded.
Yeah.
All right, why
Jesse,
is that?
What?
Why you just got about asking how
He's
doing?
cooking his ass.
You don't know my brother-in-law.
Well, how would I know to ask about him then?
But then, how do you know him?
He got married, right?
Oh, stop it!
I know what's going on.
Who did he get married to?
Some crazy woman.
Clip channels, do not post my reaction to this video. Okay? Do not. Ethan will strike them. Do not post my reaction, me reacting to this video. Ethan will strike them, and he has every right to do so. Do not post this shit.
Giving you lines. How did you meet Moses?
He came to my office.
To do what?
I can't tell you all that.
Oh my God. Okay.
He was here for a meeting.
Okay, all right.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. So, Jesse, let's just get into it because I understand you only have an hour. You have a show called The Fallen State, correct?
Right.
So what is The Fallen State? What does that mean?
The Fallen State is really a show of different conversations. And what I realized is that human beings are in a fallen state and they live in their imagination, which is hell, and that their nature is evil. And that's why they treat each other, though we're all created in God's image, they treat each other, I don't anymore, but
if
they
we're
treat each other like hell, like the lack of love, because they're living in the darkness of their imagination. They're in a fallen state and don't know it.
If you says that we're created in God's image,
right?
It seems that you're maybe a little insulting to God because you just said that his image is his imagination is hell.
But no, they're not living. They have been turned away from the Father, so they're not living from His image.
Oh.
That's why we must be born again. We must return to the Father.
But do they
all
have
who are born of the woman is living in hell because they have anger. They have their mother's nature, and so their nature is evil. But
Oh
when they
God,
return
he's
to
so
the
good.
Father,
I forgot
then
all
their
about
nature
this
returns
guy.
to good.
I see. So women's nature is evil.
Yes, because Satan is the woman's god. The
Satan
God above,
is woman's god. Jeez.
Yeah,
Okay.
the God above is the man's God.
Yeah.
And the God below is the woman's God. That's why all who are born through the woman are born into hell.
Are you for real?
I'm sorry?
Do you believe that for real?
Without a doubt. How do you think you became angry?
Oh, he does.
I'm not angry.
Amazing.
You don't have anger?
I'm an alpha male.
You don't have anger?
I get angry sometimes. Does that mean that my mom is the devil?
I'm sorry?
It seems kind of reductive to say, oh, you've been angry, which is a common human emotion. Everybody's felt it at one time or another. Anyone who's lived, and to say that it's because your mother is a Satanist or something like that.
And you're right. Every human being are born into hell, and that's why we must be born again of the Father.
I see.
You know, God said there will come a day when I return the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children.
Your Jesse Lee Peterson debate must have been annoying as fuck. How did you not leave? It's rude.
Have perfect peace, in order to live on this earth in perfect peace.
Can a woman live a righteous life if their God is the devil? Do they have a shot? They can. So what do they need to do to live a righteous life?
They need to become
They too have to do
trans
as
men.
the man have to do. They have to forgive their mothers for imposing her will on them and turning them away from their fathers and recreate.
Was he this dementia riddled when I debated him? Yes. He said almost all of the same things that he's saying right now.
She could not help it.
What if your mom didn't do anything wrong?
I gotta pee.
Once they forgive their mothers, then they forgive their fathers for not protecting them from the mother. He couldn't handle her because he married to his mama. You become attracted
what
to
if your mom didn't do anything wrong? What if you have a nice mom who's great and she didn't do anything?
That doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
No.
There's okay, good. So what are the sins of the mother? What are they?
Is anger, jealousy, envy, strife.
But you feel all that.
I'm sorry?
But you feel all those emotions. That's not a feminine emotion.
No, it's a mother's emotion. It is a feminine emotion because Satan is a feminine spirit.
But you feel anger, right?
No, I never feel anger.
You've never
before
felt anger.
No, I didn't say I never have felt it. I did 30-something years ago. But when I forgave my mother who resented my father and tried to turn me away from him, God forgave me, and he took that spirit away. So I don't feel anger anymore.
Well, I'm very happy for you. But my mom,
I'm
and how
happy-
dare you speak about my mother like that, Jesse? I'll have you know she's a great lady.
No such thing.
Man, you really hate your mom, don't you?
No, I love my mother now, but all children hate their mothers. And that's
That's crazy, because the famous psychological analysis by the great Sigmund Freud says the opposite. Kids want to fuck their mothers. What are your thoughts on that?
They do, because you do want to F the person you hate.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Oh. You become attracted to the person that you hate.
Are you attracted to your mother? Were you
No,
attracted?
I don't hate my mother anymore.
Oh, okay. When you hated her, were you attracted to her?
If you notice in your life, every woman you get involved with, just like your mother, you couldn't handle her because you never overcame your mother.
When you were
so you're still attracted to that same spirit.
When you were angry at your mom, were you sexually attracted to her?
Not her, but women like her. It was the same spirit.
Okay. Let's go back to the top here, because we could go down this rabbit hole forever.
That's a
So,
wild
let me
thing to
ask
fucking
you about,
admit, dude. Holy shit.
Are you married?
Wild.
No,
Do you have children?
I do.
No, I heard
have,
it. I heard
a
it.
son.
Beta.
And
Only one son?
I made a son first.
You only have
Beta
one
males
son.
Make,
But
beta males make girls first. Alpha males make boys first.
Hold on, Jesse. You're telling me you had a child out of wedlock? Beta.
That's true. Then I was in a fallen state. You're absolutely right. But then I had 2 grandkids, adult grandkids now, and then 2 great grandkids and 1 on the way.
Why were you never married, Jesse? That seems like a great, frankly, in your line of work and with your values, it seems like that would be a real shortcoming of yours that you're single still.
And why is that?
Well, don't you live for family values, good Christian family values?
You can live for them without having to be married. Jesus never married. God wasn't married. Paul wasn't married, but yet they stood for those values.
Okay. So then, well, let me put it this way. I have 3 boys, and I'm married.
Nice.
I'm alpha as fuck.
All the way.
Right. Okay, good. I wanted to get that out there. I couldn't sit here with you calling me beta. I would crumble. I couldn't deal with it. You've said, but I hope you're not offended when I do say you are kind of beta.
No, I'm not offended by that at all.
Okay, good. Because you are.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
I'm the hypothetical 10% who could be swayed by this debate. Ethan better step his game up or it's over between me and my mom. Yeah, Ethan is doing real danger disservice here.
Well, affirmative action is set up in order to keep the blacks weak and dependent on government and not ever growing and becoming their best in their talent and what they can do. And so what it does, it discriminates against the ones who earn their way, and it gives it to those who do not earn their way. And
he thanked Ethan because he recognized his position as a beta male in the face of an alpha male with 3 male children.
Who are not earning their way. And it's also wrong against the people who are earning their way. It's just not, it's an evil plan, and it's not working at all. It is causing nothing but confusion.
And so what crucial occupations do you think is being overrun with affirmative action types of people that's harming the industry?
Well, nowadays it's everything really.
People don't actually like this guy, right? Like all his views are ironic. No, no, they do. Also, Jesse Lee Peterson is very likely gay and has like credible accusations of abuse as well. But what you fail to recognize here is that, yes, there are people who unironically watch him and think he's like smart.
They are giving these people these positions without earning their way. Not only is it not good for the individuals themselves, but it's not good for the country.
How can I, as somebody who's trying to identify affirmative action where things are vulnerable, how do I identify an affirmative action person who's in a spot that they shouldn't be?
Well, you can see, well, you can question them about did they earn their way.
I do think
But you
that
can
I do
see
think
in the
that
way-
Ethan is handling him in the right way to handle him, though. For the record, like I do think that this is the proper way to deal with it, which is like,
That's the problem with it. And you're right.
why would Ethan strike a fan channel re-upload? What do you mean? What the fuck? He has every right to do so. This is like, this is content that he's trying to put out there.
Black
The
men and
fuck?
women who are earning their way. But how would you know, since you know affirmative action is set up for the blacks?
It's just
It's like Justice Clarence Thomas, for example. He earned his way. He worked hard. He came from a tough background. But because he's black,
yeah.
it's hard for anyone to accept that he's earned his way because he's black. So everybody just assumed that that the blacks are not earning their way. They're a part of the affirmative action program.
So that's possible
So it really does a bad job for all the blacks, to be honest.
What about like white Nepo babies who are born into tremendous wealth and privilege, and they can pretty much skate into any field, any kind of job that they want?
Damn, bro, he's
because
calling me
maybe
out.
their
This is
parents
fucking
have
bullshit.
leverage and they know people and all this. Isn't that, in a sense, as dangerous as affirmative action, or perhaps even more?
Did you say what kind of babies?
Nepotism babies.
What's that?
Nepotism is when you get favored treatment because of a family member.
There's nothing wrong with that. That always happens in society.
But don't you think that putting
it even happens?
But if they're not qualified,
It even happens in the black society. You have family members who know someone that knows someone. It's common sense that they're going to refer you.
Right, but if you're if you're at like Harvard Law, you're going to get fast tracked into one of these big law firms, and maybe you're not good. Maybe you're not even good at school. Maybe your father just bought like a wing at the Harvard University and so I don't want that guy as my attorney. Do you?
I mean, I'm not against personal referrals.
Right.
I don't agree with affirmative action based on color.
So what about affirmative action for Native Americans?
For the Indians,
Yeah, those are the ones.
Affirmative action shouldn't be for anyone. The Indians need to put down the pot. And they call it payota or something, right?
Oh,
they need to put down the payota and get up and earn for themselves. The beauty about life, if you are an individual, you think and do for yourself, there's no one or nothing in life that can stop you. And America, when I was growing up, was that way. And now it has been, individuality has been deemed to be something bad. And there's this group thinking now. And so the group is always in a pitiful, I can't make it, needed mode. That's why I believe that we must return to being individuals, one nation under God.
But Jesse, you participate in groupthink.
What do you mean?
Well, you're part of a movement, the manosphere, right? This conservative online movement about teaching young men that everything is not their fault. It's the world's fault that they're, not successful, or that, they're gay because they hate their mom or whatever.
I'm not part of any movement.
Well, why do I hear so many people saying that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I started Bond 34 years ago, and I didn't know anyone at the time, but I started because
You should be illegal on Black History Month.
I realized that the blacks were suffering because they had been turned away from their fathers, and
Excuse me.
The Democrats and others were telling it. Also, the so-called civil rights leaders were telling the blacks that they were suffering because of racism, and I knew that was a lie. So I started BARM, my nonprofit, Rebuilding the Man, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny.
Even during Jim Crow, that racism was a lie?
Let me just finish this.
Go ahead.
To encourage blacks to not fall for the lie that some white man can hold them back, right?
The real question
And so I
is,
started Bond 35.
if
34,
racism is a lie,
35
why do you
years
support it so
and
much,
it
Jesse
was-
Lee
I was-
Peterson? Which
and
he
still am
does.
not a part of any movement, but just to encourage the men and women to return back to the Father.
So
What were you saying about Jim Crow?
you're saying even back then there was no such thing as racism?
Right. No such
Even
thing.
Jim
It was-
Crow.
Right. It
That's
wasn't
not
even-
racist to say that black people need to drink from a different fountain.
No.
No.
As a matter of fact, I grew up, as you know, under the Jim Crow laws, and blacks and whites got along better back then than they do today, because back then
Wasn't the KKK like hanging? I mean, sorry to be uncouth, but I'm pretty sure the KKK was like killing black people. But then
Well,
they were just like, right? Like, I mean, they were just doing that. I don't know.
no, that's not
Lynchings.
true.
There was lynchings and stuff happening back then. You don't see
That's
those
not
today.
true. That's not true.
Oh, so what's the truth about the KKK?
The first, let me tell you about the Jim Crow.
Okay.
During those days, the blacks worked for themselves. They had family. They had fathers and mothers and grandparents, and they worked for themselves. And they taught their children to work.
You guys who are unfamiliar
and
with
they taught
JLP
their
are in for a
children to
treat.
People the way that they would like to be treated. And then the wife did the same thing. They too taught their children to work and be independent and to treat people the way they would like to be treated. And as a result, the blacks bought land. They had trades. They bought, if they wanted to go to a trade school or college, they went and did that. And they came back as professionals. And they didn't have false leaders. Someone leaded them. God was the head of the family.
Chat, I've
and the
debated
father
this
was the head
man.
of the wife
I
and
went
the
on his
children.
show and I debated him. If you were
Wasn't until
unfamiliar,
the civil rights movement came along
Years
no
ago.
such thing as civil rights, by the way, but when the civil rights movement started, it
But
started.
Jesse,
all
if
the-
Jim Crow happened, if that was still in place, you wouldn't be talking to me now.
you don't know that. Why would I?
Because everything was segregated. As a white man, probably, I'm not. You know what? I was one of the good ones. I would have never gone there. But however, there'd be people
But
saying,
that's
"No,
not
don't talk to
true
a white man."
That's not true.
No?
Because even under the Jim Crow law, black and white people talk to one another. If they wanted to talk, they got along. Those who wanted to get along. But you have to realize you have evil people, and there are some people who return to good.
Let me hit you with a stat. Between 1882 and 1986. Now you were born in 1949, so you were probably in your 20s, somewhere in this time frame at the end of it. There was 4,743 lynchings that occurred in the United States during that time period. Is that racist?
I don't even know if that number is true, because you have to realize that the human heart is wicked, and that the people make up numbers in order to get what they want.
Why won't you
I
admit
don't
that
even know
hanging black people is racist?
I'm sorry?
Why won't you admit that hanging black people is racist?
Oh, because it's not. If that was happening, if that was happening, it was evil. Our battle is a battle
Well,
between.
no, they were like,
good-
well, the KKK is like, we hate black people, and so we're going to hang them.
And also-
they say that. They actually said that. They're like, this is,
Right.
and so that's not racist.
No, it's hatred. It's either
Okay.
good or evil.
Does
Our
racism
battle-
exist? Is racism real?
You're asking me a lot of questions. Calm down.
Whoa.
You're not letting
this
me
is
answer.
this. Hold on,
You're
Jesse.
not letting me answer the one you're asking.
This
You're
is how
not
you interview
asking,
people.
and before I can answer, you run to something else.
Go ahead.
And so
I'll give you space.
we're not finalizing any conversation. What the? What's wrong
What?
with you?
Amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm sorry, Jesse. Go ahead. I'm trying to interview like you interview people.
That's not how I interview.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I know how you interview.
No. According to Wikipedia, 1,000 plus white people were lynched. Was that racist?
It could have been. It depending on
Why?
the situation.
No. Racism is a made-up word. The word racist is a made-up word to cover up evil.
All words
and
are made
in order
up.
to divide and conquer. When I was growing up in Alabama, there was no such word as racism. It
That's
was either
not
right. It was either right or wrong, good or evil. There's no such thing as racism.
So, okay, so racism, it just means evil. But that, again, that seems reductive. I mean, there's different
No,
types of evil.
racism doesn't mean evil. Racism is just a word. It has no meaning.
Do words have any meaning?
No,
No words don't mean anything.
not at all.
Oh, man, how are we going to pin you down on anything? What are you doing then? What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Well, your words don't have meaning.
Right.
Well, how can you say that?
Because it's true. I mean,
But you're talking to me.
Practical words
Why-
have meaning. Practical words have meaning.
Go, Jesse.
Because,
Don't
you
let them
know,
make excuses
what
for
you gotta
every
have for
failure.
dinner, your
Jesse
wife
breaks
might-
them down
might
every
ask you, What do you
time.
want?
If
for
you want to
dinner,
see,
or what type of house you want to buy.
if you want to see like the actual dumbest fucking people on the planet, there are literally a shit ton of Jesse Lee Peterson fans who think like he owns all of his interlocutors in the marketplace of ideas.
To control them for personal gain.
But that doesn't mean they don't exist.
God's voice is a voiceless voice.
Okay.
And the voice of evil is a voice that you hear in your head that sound like you. And they're always lies all the time. All thoughts are all, except for practical ones, all thoughts are all lies all the time.
All thoughts are all lies?
All the time.
Jeez, man, that sounds like you're in a
Except-
prison. You're in a hell of your own making, man.
Except for practical thought. And you're right. People who live in their
But
thoughts.
everybody thinks.
Those who believe thoughts are living in hell, in their own
Interesting,
hell
wow.
within themselves.
Very interesting.
Just think about a thought that there are people who have committed suicide because a thought told them to commit suicide. There are people who are depressed and have fear and lonely and all these things because they have believed thoughts, not because it's real, but they have believed a lie. They believe thoughts.
Let's move on to another topic. Why do you call Trump the Great White Hope?
The Great White Hope. I'm glad you mentioned him.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what he has to say.
He's back.
He's back.
Basically, all I've done is keep my promise.
That's why I call him the Great White Hope.
Is there a whole bunch of sounds, or is that the only one?
There are a whole bunch of them.
Let me hear some more.
Friends in the morning, they're very honorable people.
Wow.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.
So
I rest my case.
yeah, okay. So do you love white
This is
people
Trump.
more? Do you love white
This
people?
is Trump right here.
Yeah, we love Trump. He's
See
the
that?
But why point out his skin color?
What do you mean?
Well, you call him the Great White Hope. Why do you
Oh, he's putting the
reference his
hat
skin
on.
color?
Is he white?
By the way, if you think you can out MAGA me, think again, buddy. All right? I got my own tools.
Amazing. I
True.
have one of those, by the way.
Oh, you do? Put it on.
I don't have it in the studio.
That's convenient, Jesse.
I didn't know you were gonna want me to put it on. But let me see what else I have. Hold on. Because a lot of people give me a lot of Trump stuff.
But Jesse, why do you refer to him
Look.
as? Wow. Is it normal to be
Look.
a Jesse? Let me ask you a question. You might ask
you
one of
see
your
that?
guests.
Look at this.
I have a pertinent question that you might ask one of your guests.
Did you see that?
I do. Do you think that it's normal to
Here's my
fetishize
hat.
another man that much? Oh my God, you do have it. All right, Jesse. Well, then let me do this. Do you have one of these, motherfucker? This one's even bigger. Oh, shit. You actually do.
I have a black Santa Claus that someone sent me.
Do you believe Santa Claus is black?
Do
Okay,
you
bro.
find it amazing that they finally did a black Santa and they put him in a wheelchair?
It is amazing, actually. What's his story?
Just saying.
They knew that he wasn't going to do any work.
So they just put him in the wheelchair?
Yeah, because they knew he wasn't going to do any work. It's affirmative action Santa.
Oh, Jesse. Jesse, why do you refer to Trump's skin color? Why does that matter?
Because he's a white man. He did when he was president an amazing job.
Okay.
on America. He gave a lot of people hope. And he's great at what he's done. He worked for the people and not against them.
You have one of these?
I don't have one of those.
He's hot. Looks good. Okay, but that doesn't
So
explain.
I'm glad to know that you support him, though.
Why? Well, personally, I think Obama was a great president. What do you think
No,
about
you
that?
don't. You're playing.
No, he did a lot of great things.
Like
Talk
what?
about hope. He gave people lots of hope.
What did
Only
he
to
do that was
squash it
great?
and squander it, but
What do you do those? He was chill.
You can say that again.
Yeah.
He had Big Mama. And so what did he do that was great?
What did Trump do that's great?
He did drilling, brought back jobs. He built a wall, almost completed a wall around.
No, there's no wall. Come on,
around the
Jesse. There's no
borders.
wall.
He didn't complete the wall, and when Joe Biden became president,
He did like
Instead of-
1%.
instead of completing the wall, he stopped the work.
Jesse, you're not being
even
fair.
Even though it was paid for, so he brought back jobs. He drilled. He worked on the wall until they stopped him. He left. We had our enemies respected us around the world, and the people worked together. We finally had some unity in the country.
But he didn't build the wall, right? That's
He
just a
didn't
matter of fact.
He didn't complete the wall.
No, but he didn't even come close. He built like 1% of it.
He didn't complete the
But
wall.
you said that was something good he did. He made one.
That was.
Since when does 1% of something you promised a good job?
I'm sorry, he didn't complete the job because his time ran out.
But the amount
And
of
as a
completion
result-
matters, right? The amount of completion matters.
I'm sorry?
The amount of completion matters. You say he didn't complete it. He didn't do 100%. But if he
Right.
did 1%, surely that's not as good as 50%. I wouldn't call that a good job. 1%?
But you're not making sense. If his
Why?
time ran out and he wasn't.
You said he built the wall, Jesse. Come on. There's no wall.
Well, let's put it this way, if this makes you feel better. He started building a wall, putting up a wall. Time ran out,
Okay.
and he did not finish. And according to BBC, he did 654 miles. That's
Out of how many?
that's more than 1%.
Let's see. What percent of the wall was completed? I don't know.
Well,
458
650
miles. What are you typing, dude?
Well, why did you say 1% and you really don't know?
Oh, sorry. You know what? It's like 25%.
But you really don't know.
Well, now I do. It's 25%.
Someone just told you?
Yes. Somebody who
So
fact checks.
why did you say 1%?
Well, I was wrong, clearly, but it was 25%.
But why did you say 1%?
It's 25%.
No, why did you
Well,
say
it's
1%?
25%.
You're not answering the question.
Well, it's a rhetorical question, is it not?
No, why did you just throw out 1% when it wasn't true?
Why did you say Trump completed the wall when he had only completed 25% of it?
I didn't say he completed the wall. I
You
said
said
he
he
built
built-
the wall.
okay.
And I said he did not get a chance to complete it because I ran out of time.
Well, how are you going to, if percent is a word and words are made up, then what are we even doing here?
We're communicating.
But words
Somewhat.
don't mean anything.
We're
I
communicating.
got you, Jesse.
Somewhat. Word doesn't. That's why you let them go in one ear and out the other one.
Let me move on here because we can go down this rabbit hole, and I love it. I love it. I love
a
where your mind's
better
at.
a better argument would be you don't like Biden. He says no, I don't like Biden. Then you could turn around and say, but he's built so much of the wall.
Well, if that's what they want to be, there's nothing. Everybody entitled to stay into their hell if they wanted to. But if they want to overcome it, they can. They can overcome it, but if they want to stay in their hell, they can die in their hell. No big deal.
I've met very happy gay men. In fact, gay means happy, if you believe in words.
But again, they may have false happiness, but they have no peace. And again,
How can you say that?
Because if you're not overcome evil, you have no peace.
Did you overcome being gay, Jesse?
I never had to worry about overcoming that.
Okay. And then you say that gay is a cover up for evil. What did you mean by that?
everyone that's born through their mothers have to overcome that feminine spirit. They have to overcome anger. And there are people that are into all kinds of things. We all have to be born again of the Father. And so what I'm saying to the people, if they were to really...
This chat is getting idiotic day by day. Echo chamber. I know. We're so we are getting idiotic day by day because we're watching Jesse Lee Peterson. I don't like the woman stuff that he yaps about.
All things, all these things that they think that they are, and which other evil people are trying to confirm that that's who you are because they're evil. There's nothing in life that you cannot overcome, but you got to start working on yourself. And our battle is a spiritual battle. We're not our thoughts. We're not our feelings, emotions. We're not our bodies. And we have to overcome the identify with those things. And I promise you, you can be free. You can have perfect peace right here on earth.
Jesse, you helped men become straight, right? That's part of one of the...
I like the other stuff, yes. I like the other stuff because it's like, at least it's like unique and interesting in a way that my brain can dissect it. Whereas like when he starts talking about the evil of woman and how the more you become like closer to being a woman, the more evil you become, like that kind of stuff is like too far out for me to even like, my brain doesn't process it.
Rapists, murderers, white, black.
Do you think being gay is like being a rapist or a murderer?
I think being that is a false identity, so they're lost in a false identity.
Would you rather be gay or a murderer?
I would rather be either.
But you got to choose.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You have never made a choice.
I tried to get you, Jesse, but you're too slick. You're too slick for me.
Why are you trying to get me? That's not masculine. Why? You're playing a woman's role.
Excuse me, Jesse. War. There's nothing more masculine than war.
You're playing a woman's role in trying to get me. Men are not supposed to play the female game of trying to get. Men lead the way. They don't try to get. That's a woman's role.
Jesse, I'm a man and I'm doing battle. There's nothing more masculine than battle.
Who are you doing battle with?
With you.
Why? I'm not doing battle with you.
Well,
I didn't
you
even know
you don't know that you aren't yet, but we're interlocutors.
And why? I thought we were friends. Why are you doing a battle with me?
We are. I'm a fan of your interviewing style, so I'm trying to exhibit some of your styles back on you. But obviously, ideologically, we are completely unaligned. It's friendly banter. But you called me a woman.
I said that if you're doing battle with me right now, you're playing the woman's game. But
is battle a woman's game?
Not. But Jesse is not doing battle with him because he's not playing a woman's game. Another thing that is the woman's game is the top of the hour ad break, or at least seeing the top of the hour ad break. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If you sit there and you watch the 3-minute ad break, you're playing a woman's game. I'll say it. Okay, I'm not afraid to say it. Don't play that game. Be a man in a world full of women, and subscribe for $5 or for free. And that way, you will no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here's a 3-minute ad break now.
You try to be what?
Oh, come on, Jesse.
You try to be what?
I try to be a good person.
By doing what?
Good people things.
Like what?
Like tucking my kids in bed at night.
Why do you call that good?
Is it evil?
Why do you call it good?
Dude, he's the best at this. Well, a big part of what you talk about is the man's role.
Why do you call that good?
What? It's the parent's role to stay at home and be present in their children's lives and to show them love and compassion.
And why do you call that good?
You're right. It is evil.
Why do you call it good?
No, you're right. It is evil to kiss your bed.
I never said it was evil. I never said it was evil. But you said it was good. But you won't tell me why you call it good.
I just did.
Why?
Because it's nice to be nice to your kids.
Does niceness mean good?
Well, I think, if we're using words in any way as defined, then yes, nice does mean good.
And how's that?
Oh, come on. Let me ask you a question, Jesse. You're,
But you never
you're
asked-
filibustering me.
Bro, he's killing
No,
him.
you never did
Jesse,
answer the question.
dude, Ethan hasn't had an intellectual giant on the show outcompete him in the marketplace of ideas this hard since XQC did the worm to win that
The
debate.
word obey.
Does your wife obey you?
If something made me uncomfortable and I expressed that to her, she would probably respect my wishes, depending on what it was. But yeah, she obeys me.
Does your wife obey you?
I just said yes, she does obey me.
Amazing.
Amazing. So alpha. Oh, Jesse, let me ask you: does your wife obey you?
No.
Beta. Got you again.
Amazing.
Got you again. Let me ask you a question.
I don't have a wife. That's why she does obey you.
That's beta, though.
No, it's not.
Oh, come now.
No.
Why isn't being a single man beta?
I didn't say it was.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I
Yes,
didn't.
you did.
When?
Yes, you did. I said, let me ask you another question. There's a paradox with the gay thing that it's kind of maybe obvious to some, but I do like to question people on this. If God made us, did God make us perfect? Did God make us, is God perfect? Let's start there.
God is perfect and he made us perfect
So then why are people gay?
because they've been turned away from God by turning them away from their earthly fathers.
Did God create the universe?
Is there a reason why I feel like people engaging debating JLP feels like ableism? What do you mean? He is literally like, he acts like a stroke victim.
He controls Satan.
He presents himself in a way
so then
that
he's
is
the
like
one tempting
where
people to be
very
gay.
clearly
No.
there's like brain matter
where's
coming
that
out of
wrong
his
with the
ears.
logic?
It's not weird to feel that way
No,
for
you
sure.
know it's not from God, it's from evil.
No, but
And
God
it has-
created evil. God created evil.
Right. Well, God created Satan, and yes, through Satan, evil comes.
So God,
But
this
it
is part
worked.
of God's plan, is to turn men gay.
I don't know what you got with this gay thing, but
Well, this
I'm
is
telling
something
you
you talk a
no.
lot. Jesse, you
I'm
talk a
telling
lot
you
about
no,
gay
that
people.
is not. I'm telling you no. God created us perfectly, and when you return to the Father, you will overcome that old nature that is made of anger,
hmm
and you will return to your natural nature that's made of good, which is the nature of God. But you gotta overcome anger. And the way that for those who might be listening, one or two in your crowd that's listening that want to overcome, I'm talking to them because I know most people love their hell, and they love the hell that they live in, and they love imposing their hell on others.
So
and they
speak
call that-
to them, reach out to them.
But those who want to overcome it, I want them to know is that they have to overcome anger. And when you overcome anger, you must forgive your mother for imposing her will on you, trying to live through you, control you, turning you away
Honestly,
from your father.
the more I think about the mother angle here, the more I realize he's a revolutionary in this space. Jesse Lee Peterson. Because, like, a lot of these fucking PUA, like, red pill guys have genuine mommy issues, like, serious, severe mommy issues. And I think he was the first at this. He was the first. He is the pioneer in the field of like openly talking about having mommy issues.
If they forgive their mothers for turning them away from
Jesse,
their fathers.
would it surprise you if I told you I'm 15% gay?
Neither it wouldn't surprise me, and neither would I care. That's your problem, not mine.
15%.
What does that mean?
Is that better than 100%? Jesse, don't make it seem like I'm bringing it up out of nowhere. You talk about gayness all the time.
I talk about everything all the time.
Well,
My show is about whatever. My radio show is about whatever the people call in for. And
Well-
the father state, we deal with different issues.
can you be?
But do you have like? Are you able to move on because of time? Do you have like?
No, I have all the time
topics?
in the world, but I understood you only had an hour, right?
Right, and I'm talking about my time.
So how much time do you have left? Because
And the gay thing is a rare topic on my show.
yeah. So let me ask you this: You're not gay, right?
That's not your business.
Oh. But
He
you
is-
make the gayness
Wait.
a lot of people's business when you
No, I
discuss
don't.
their...
I make it no one's business. Do you want
Wait,
to
what?
act like a
Do you
man
live in
or you
hell?
wanna play do you want to act
Do you
talk
live in
like
hell?
a man or do you want to? Hey, look. I put aside my time. I thought you wanted to deal with issues to help folks.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Because I
Yes.
don't want to play the woman's game with you.
So, well, let me ask you this, because I know
Do you have any other topic? One last time, you can talk to your brother-in-law Moses about this, and he'll help you deal with that and overcome it.
True. Jesse, why did you like this? Why did you like
or
this
for-
tweet by Your Daddy
Or
OnlyFans?
forgive your mother. Forgive your mother.
He's giving a thumbs
and
up.
she will.
Jesse, why did you
no,
like this post from Your Daddy OnlyFans, part 2 with Sean Boy UK?
I have no idea
It's
what that
two
is.
men kissing,
I have no idea.
and they're
what that
muscular
is.
and very
This guy
bear-like.
lied to me
They
about
really
this.
think that you're like running your Twitter and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I have no idea. what you
Really?
Amazing.
Wait, why wouldn't you be running your Twitter?
So why did you?
you really think he would?
Are you?
Yeah, what-
is
I
the
I mean, what
producer?
the
He is.
fuck?
What makes you think he is?
Oh, so did you like it?
Yeah, did you like it? Are
Was
you
that-
gay?
I don't know anything. I have no idea.
Bro thought he was cooking
Well,
right
Jesse,
there.
this is important. The people want to know.
Let me.
Your producer got real quiet. What, did he like the gay porn?
Self-report.
It was one of you two. Someone fess up.
They're hanging up.
Someone fess up.
That's what you want me to do, so you can say I ran. But you guys said you wanted to talk about real stuff.
This is real,
put my-
man.
Jesse,
this is a
and
real
I-
tweet that was liked.
Jesse-
I really set aside
Jesse,
time
an
to be on you,
expose
though,
by the
but I
Daily
had-
Beast, they
I
said that
had-
several men had sexual encounters with you, some as long as 10 years. Is that true?
Say hello to Moses, buddy. I'm out. I'm out.
All right.
Was your producer?
Oh, he hung up.
Oh, he did.
All right.
Well, you tried.
That was funny.
Damn.
He really hates gay people, like really hates gay people. He kind of, I think he got a sniff of what we were doing when I mentioned something about gayness in the top. It's so funny. All of a sudden, he doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like
We all hate
good 30% of
ourselves
everything
the
we
most
discuss
at the end of the day.
is like
Never
gayness,
forget.
Women are evil is another one.
That's why I hate
It's so
capitalists.
funny. All of a sudden, you don't want to talk about it. He liked that shit. You could tell.
He 100%.
Who is he like? The Rock. He's not managing his Twitter account.
Why was his producer so quick to be like, no, it was me? Pretty
Maybe
much
he's
is what
yeah.
he said.
Maybe he's gay. Maybe his producer is affirmative action.
I mean, it could be. Yeah, affirmative action higher. You're right. Yeah.
I didn't know you were
You're
gay.
right.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Of course, I love gay people, and I think being gay is something you're born, an identity you're born into, and I think that there's nothing evil or wrong about being gay. I think it's extremely.
That was a decent interview. I wish that they were able to broach further truths. You know what I mean? That is not how you react to that question when you don't smoke cocks. All I have to say, yes, no. Jesse Lee Peterson is gay, pretty sure. I mean, when he basically said, "Oh, don't ask me about that question," and you saw the fear of God in his eyes, I think like. He ulted a little too quickly. Here's another clip of you cooking JLP.
Did you vote for Hillary?
Unfortunately.
Beta.
Yeah, she's terrible too.
Why would you vote for her?
I vote out of spite and also because I want to reduce harm. So it's voting for harm reduction. I know that certain groups, certain American citizens and even undocumented citizens that live here would be better off under Democratic leadership, even if it was marginally better off, which is why I made that choice.
So what has the president said or done that you disagree with?
Virtually everything with the exception of some foreign policy issues that he accidentally stumbles into.
Give me an example of something that he's done or said that you disagree with.
Gigantic tax cuts.
You
actively
like
trying
that?
No, it's terrible.
Amazing.
They contribute to income inequality. You, Jesse,
Why
you
don't
make
you
a lot
give
of money,
all-
so you
why
like the
don't
tax
you
cuts.
give-
It's going to hurt them
No,
and their children.
they got
People
tax
that
cuts
work
in their
No,
paycheck.
of course, but they get a $5 tax cut when you get
Why did
$100,000.
you gave all your tax cuts back to the president or to the?
What?
Did you receive except you have a job, right?
Yeah, I do.
And when you received tax cuts, did you give back the money?
I'm confused with that. Is that
Did you give
what do I-
back the extra money that you made as a result of tax cuts? Did you just say, no, this is not fair, I'm giving it back? Did you give it back?
Do you think that's how it works?
Did you give it back?
Do you think that's how it works?
Did you give
No,
it back?
Of course I didn't give it back.
I
Do you
didn't
think that's
so.
how it
You're a
works?
hypocrite.
That's how hypocrisy works?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I don't see you giving it back if you think it's so bad.
I'm talking about handling systemic problems. When you're like, why don't you give back the $5 additional that
You know what's really funny about this? Dude, like the very same people who were like watching this and singing my praises unironically now make this exact same argument pretty
got
much.
back?
We as a society, especially on Twitter, have gotten literally dumber, dude. The guy with the maximum amount of brain damage right there, the guy with the maximum amount of brain damage that said those things is basically reflected in the replies of every single one of my tweets. Like, that's the average Twitter user now, is how they behave. Exactly how they behave.
Here.
Do you not think that black people played a significant role? Do you not think that African Americans played a significant role in building this country?
No.
How could you? Whoa, okay. All right. Well, do you think white
because-
people are better than black people? Let's just get right to it. Do you think white people are better than black
in the
people?
sense that,
What, better in what sense?
I'm about to tell you, in that they create and black people destroy.
Holy crap, dude. Oh my God. You have black employees. How do they sit here and listen to you peddle this garbage?
It's the truth.
What a garbage perspective, Jesse.
You think black people
There's
are better
no
than-
way you actually believe this.
So then
There is
explain
no
that.
way you're honest. That you
As-
think, as a black man, that white people are better because black people destroy?
In
Really?
the sense that they build and black people destroy.
Wait, how? What
So
do you
let me
mean
ask
by
you
that?
this. I have the proof.
You have the proof.
I have the proof.
Okay.
But have you noticed that white people will allow black people to come into their beautiful neighborhoods? And then the blacks would come, white people would leave, and the blacks, rather than keeping that going, they would destroy it. Have you noticed they tear it down rather than build on it? Have you noticed that?
No, I have not noticed what you're talking about.
You haven't seen statistics on that?
No, I don't know what you're referencing.
Do black people
I'm still
build-
in awe that you are like a real person who genuinely has this perspective. I thought this was just like Uncle Ruckus in the Boondocks.
No,
Like I
this is
thought this
real.
wasn't like a real fucking person,
No,
a
this is
real
real,
human
yeah.
being who genuinely has this perspective.
Do you notice that blacks create ghettos?
No, the government, the system creates ghettos.
Who is the system?
The system is capitalism. It's the American political structure that consistently holds not just black people back, but all people back.
Amazing.